of Puerto Rico.
Wrestling event starts with beautiful shots of the wonderful location they are in before turning things into a dark torture chamber cliche.
New Year's Revolution.
We only got one sit on the counter right now, and it's immediately being taken off because WWE wasted no time in starting the event. They managed to get through what's going on tonight in 1 single minute. No 5 to 6 minute movie prologue, just straight to the point. I admire the style.
Will be crowned inside.
The production crew are flashing the spotlights on the Elimination Chamber about 2 hours before it's actually supposed to come down, which most likely made a lot of fans in the arena excited that the Chamber match was kicking off the show before being disappointed at the poor hype. Also, if the spotlights were to show the audience that the Elimination Chamber is ready for action, I'm pretty sure they've already seen it due to being in the arena for about an hour before the show went on the air. Why are the Spanish commentators at ringside while the English commentators are right beside the pyrotechnics on the stage? To this day, I never understood that logic.
You said, well, King Christian, that's Captain Charisma!
Obviously, Jim Ross did not refer to Christian as King Christian, so Jerry Lawler's argument of calling him Captain Charisma instead of King is invalid. But even then, wouldn't being a king be a higher honor than a captain named Charisma?
Even you gotta admit, you're a little embarrassed right now.
Jerry Lawler is a dick to special needs. Hell, he's acting like those with special needs should not be a wrestler. Just you wait. Just you wait. Also, no, I'm not the biggest fan of what they did with the Eugene character, but my biggest pet peeve is the commentators acting like mentally disabled people or a cancer to the planet. WWE is honestly fucked up for this. Most likely it gets at me because I, too, am mentally disabled. And now my haters just said, I knew it! This referee is a complete moron. Not even 25 seconds into the match and he's already doing fast counts like he wants to rush through this entire match. Take your time, dude. Let them compete.
Lower abdomen.
Yeah, I'm scary. Look at the way I'm slapping my own pec. Don't mind the wincing on my face. This totally doesn't hurt at all.
What's he doing?
Wedgies.
Eugene's having a great time.
The one thing that sucks about the portrayal of the Eugene character is the matches he competes in. Majority of it is his opponents watching him do something. I, as a sinner, sadly have no patience for that sort of thing on pay-per-view. So just to ensure I don't have to deal with it, I can activate my escape route.
No, it's not allowed in the WWE, is it?
Jerry Lawler has somehow never heard of the Junkyard Dog. Why don't you ask him if it's legal to do that in WWE?
Count as Tom Gold.
Eugene clearly tapped out right there in that moment, and somehow the referee doesn't see it. Something tells me we're going to be seeing a lot of this.
Bringing Christian in from the outside.
What the hell was that supposed to be? William Regal gets clotheslined, turns the other direction, and then reacts too late by falling back. Whoever the hell that asshole is with the whistle on the crowd, can someone please take that away from him? It's seriously annoying. What punches, I guess? We're in Puerto Rico, so they're probably saying something else entirely, but I hear what, so I'm just gonna say what punches.
And a takedown by Christian.
That didn't look anything like a takedown by Christian. That was more of a takedown by Eugene, who at this point legitimately tore up his knee.
It certainly isn't Regal, and Regal...
That was the most awkward double clothesline over the top rope I have ever seen. William Regal must be that powerful if Christian and Tyson Tomko struggled to get him over. Throughout this entire night, we see recaps of the WWE Divas hanging out at poolside in San Juan, and I can't believe I'd say this, but they were the most entertaining part of the entire show before the Elimination Chamber main event took place, and that's pretty bad.
You don't want to be world champion, that's fine with me.
Edge says he's totally fine with Christian not accepting his offer to become World Heavyweight Champion, but then later throws a temper tantrum when he's not removed from the Elimination Chamber match. Also, even if you're afraid of Shawn Michaels doing something to cost you the match, why the fuck would Edge give up the chance to become World Heavyweight Champion in an Elimination Chamber match? That's the dumbest part of his plan.
Serious physicality, if you know what I mean.
Jerry Lawler trying to make a sexual remark about Trish Stratus wanting to get physical with Lita when literally nobody would believe that is the case. Take a look at their rivalry and realize none of this looks sexual, you pervert.
Face, my beautiful...
Heel wrestler with a beauty gimmick is forced to wear a face mask after getting disfigured cliche. Damn, that's actually a cliche?
Fabulous Moolah, your favorite woman wrestler of all...
Jim Ross would agree with that statement in 2005, but denied in 2022.
To retain this tag team title.
What? Are you telling me the Women's Tag Team Championship exists in WWE 14 years before it actually does? Since the term Women's Tag Team titles weren't even a thought in WWE's head in 2005, it's impossible that Jim Ross would get that mixed up with the Women's Championship. Here are 5 cents for that terrible botch.
You don't think trash could come out of that beautiful mouth, do you?
Ha ha, fuck you.
Go, I told you she would do it!
Man, I feel bad for both Eugene and Lita on this night. 2 matches in a row, 2 legitimate injuries suffered. Perhaps the reason the remaining matches prior to the Elimination Chamber sucked was because WWE told their talent to drop a huge percentage of their talent just so they can make it through the night without another injury.
A hook with a leg, and that's...
It really sucks when rush finishes and change of plans happen due to legitimate injuries. Worst part is it leaves a bad taste on the audience in Puerto Rico, who conveniently never got another pay-per-view in their area again after this night.
All you need to get a license here is know how to blow the horn.
Much as Jerry Lawler is annoying, that line about learning how to drive in San Juan actually cracked me up. I'll give him that one.
You want me to take you out of the Elimination Chamber match?
Eric Bischoff, by repeating Edge's exact plan in a tone that makes it sound more stupid than it already is, would be great at CinemaSins 2 expansion.
Faces me tomorrow night on Raw.
Edge actually thinks WWE is stupid enough to go through with that dumbass plan. I mean, WWE in the 2020s probably would, but not here in 2005.
All we need to do is take Shawn Michaels out of this match.
Wait a minute. First, Edge wants to be replaced with Christian in the Elimination Chamber match, but now he's saying that Shawn Michaels should be removed as the referee? What's next? Jim Ross should be replaced on commentary?
Look what we have here.
Shawn Michaels conveniently waiting for Edge outside Eric Bischoff's office should honestly tip Eric off that he has some sort of plan to control Edge's fate tonight.
If someone were to, say, provoke the referee.
Shawn Michaels just foreshadowed Edge's fate. Damn it, he saw the future. Next time, don't give out spoiler alerts. Previously on WWE.
From Charlottesville, Virginia.
Maven is making his entrance for the Intercontinental Championship match against Shelton Benjamin, but instead, let's focus on Lillian Garcia introducing him.
Arguably the finest pure athlete.
That's the second time in less than 2 minutes that Jim Ross noted how Shelton Benjamin is the finest pure athlete in WWE today. Yeah, we know. We heard you the first time.
Play hospital football, collar and elbow tie.
If I were to tell you that this collar and elbow tie-up was the only bit of offense executed in the Intercontinental Championship match on pay-per-view in the year 2005, you'd tell me that I'm going crazy. But no, seriously, this is the only bit of offense executed in the Intercontinental Championship match on pay-per-view in the year 2005. Matter of fact, here's 2005 Sins. Literally the entirety of this 6-minute match is Maven walking around the ring, standing on a chair, repeating that he doesn't understand Spanish, and that's it. I get that WWE probably didn't want more wrestlers to get injured, but not letting them compete at all is messed up. Here's another 50 cents for good measure.
Don't start counting yet.
That's not up for Maven to decide when the referee should start counting. Matter of fact, Maven ends up cutting his promo and the referee could have done 3 entire countouts. Maven tells the audience that he has something to say to them, but doesn't end up saying anything for nearly 2 whole minutes. What the fuck are we watching here? Good on the production crew for shutting off Maven's microphone, but they get sinned because they turned the damn thing back on and let this torture continue.
I need to concentrate.
Maven prefers peace and quiet so that he can compete and win the Intercontinental Championship. Come back to WWE 15 years later, you'll find a lot more peace and quiet there. Wait a minute, why is the WrestleMania sign already appearing at these events? The road to WrestleMania doesn't officially begin until the Royal Rumble, so why is the sign already here?
Would you tell all your friends to shut up?
The real question here is, why the hell has Shelton Benjamin been standing in the ring this entire time when he could have forced him back into the ring to continue the match? 5 minutes never felt like 5 hours until now. You couldn't have gone after Maven sooner, you stupid dumbass.
I've had enough. I'm out of here.
Maven is saying what I so desperately want to say about this whole event. Never thought I'd be jealous of Maven, but here we are.
It's a roll-up by Sheldon.
Even the referee was pissed off at Maven since he counted the pinfall so fast. Much as I agree with a fast count, I gotta count the sin because he's the second referee tonight to do a fast count.
Cut the music.
This segment is still going on!
I want a rematch.
Shelton Benjamin debating about going back in the ring while Maven taunts him goes on for quite some time. A lot more time than the actual rematch between them.
The T-bone suplex, and it's over.
What's worse than 1 horrible Intercontinental title match? 2 horrible Intercontinental title matches. Here's another 100 cents. We just wasted the last 15 minutes with this shit. Jerry Lawler has a match against Muhammad Hassan tonight, and it's literally not until 5 minutes before the match takes place that Jerry realized he had to get ready for it. Might explain why he loses.
I'm going to be in King's Corner.
Which means that there's going to be no one on commentary for the entirety of the match, and we're going to be watching it in silence. Just what we thought tonight couldn't get any worse. Also, we're not even in the second hour of this pay-per-view, and it's been a terrible train wreck. A tag team title match that was cut short due to unfortunate injury, a women's title match that was cut short due to unfortunate injury, an Intercontinental title match that was 99% promo cutting, another Intercontinental title match that lasted only 5 seconds, and now a match involved with both commentators at ringside, leaving no one to call the action. Holy shit, here are 1,000 more sins.
JR, last week?
So many what chants? Synchronized with almost every single word that Muhammad Hassan says.
Hassan and Daivari.
I get that Jim Ross is part of this rivalry between Jerry Lawler and Muhammad Hassan, but it still would have been better if he stayed at the commentary desk, or at least have someone else take over on commentary while he does his part for this match. This dumbass referee rings the bell before Daivari and Jim Ross could exit the ring, putting them in harm's way instantly. So, because there was no commentary for this match, should I continue sinning without using my voice? Nah, that was stupid. I ain't doing that again. You guys came to hear my terrible cringe voice. The whistle earlier was annoying, but now there's another idiot in the crowd using an air horn to the beat of the clapping. Please don't tell me this was another reason why WWE stopped doing pay-per-views in Puerto Rico. Can't believe I'd say this either, but Daivari cheering on Muhammad Hassan is sadly the only entertaining part of this entire match. Jesus, this is bad. Come on, man. We already went through this terrible segment with the Intercontinental title matches earlier tonight. I'm literally about to fall asleep here. How many fucking whistles are in the damn audience tonight? Now, tell me, what kind of help is Jim Ross being here? He's seemingly calling the action from his spot at ringside while also cheering on Jerry Lawler. So my question pops up again, why isn't he simply calling the action at the commentary desk? If the referee was able to see Muhammad Hassan's foot on the rope, then he would also be able to see Daivari literally all over that leg when he moved it, and somehow he doesn't. Jerry Lawler wasting time chasing Daivari around the ring is what ultimately cost him the match. You can see it coming a mile away even before the chase begins.
Why don't you let me ask a question?
And I'm gonna ask a question.
This segment really exposes a flaw. The microphones for backstage interviews are really unnecessary considering we can easily hear everything when the microphone is no longer in the equation. So, what are they for, honestly?
Stooge. What did you just call me?
I'm more surprised that Dave Bautista hasn't already attacked Randy Orton instead of going for the cliched, "What did you just call me?" phrase.
Are you gonna kick his ass or are you gonna kiss it?
Absolutely savage line from Randy Orton right there. The foreshadowing of Dave's rise at the top is awesome. You love to see it. Wait a minute, you mean to tell me that Jonathan Coachman was here the entire time and somehow wasn't available to call the action 10 minutes ago? What the fuck? I'm not playing the video for the safety of those with epilepsy, but WWE should really not have a flashing effect in their video packages, making things tough to see for even those without epilepsy.
This will not be a pretty match.
No shit, really?
Snitsky with a headbutt and then going downstairs.
Kane and Gene Snitsky fight for a good 5 seconds before the referee realized he hadn't called for the bell to ring yet. Whoops, my bad moment, am I right?
15,746.
Obviously, y'all know I'm not the biggest fan of commentators talking about how many fans are in attendance, but they literally keep changing the numbers. I heard 14,000, 15,000, now over 15,000?
Maybe Kane's mind is somewhere where Lita is.
Or maybe Kane's mind is wondering why the hell he forgot to tie up his boot before entering the arena for his match with Gene. Honestly shocked his boot didn't go flying off his foot at any point in the match tonight.
You know, he may use that.
What kind of baseball slide was that supposed to be? Looked like Kane fell too early and had to spin around just to connect his leg with Gene Snitsky.
Wait a minute.
Ouch! Gotta give props to Gene Snitsky for taking that bump onto the concrete floor. That shit hurts no matter who you are. Is Kane freaking dancing his way out of the bear hug? Guess you gotta do what you gotta do, but that was weird.
Maybe, indeed, may have done just that.
Sorry, but the moment Kane grabbed the top rope to control his fall, that's the moment the collision no longer looks effective.
I think he's just
Biting. I won't lie, I've always loved the way Kane executes his own version of the Tombstone Piledriver. Makes it look even more devastating. Throughout the night, we see segments of the Divas hanging out at poolside, and while it was more entertaining than pretty much this entire show, it still doesn't take away that this was a waste of time just so creepy perverts could masturbate to this. Now, where were we?
For only the third time in the history.
Back in 2005, hearing the third time in history is exciting. It's just a shame that these days you hear the words "for the third time this year" when it comes to matches like this one, especially Hell in a Cell. Also, I'm not kidding, it literally takes 12 whole minutes between the video package for this main event and the actual participants making their entrance for the main event. 12 minutes of entrances is one thing, but 12 minutes of waiting around before anyone makes their entrance is a little much. Here's one of the reasons why it takes so long for the participants to make their entrances. Eric Bischoff has to come out here and remark about how this cage has 10 tons of steel and 2 miles of chain, something we've known since 2002. Edge, who earlier tried to get out of this Elimination Chamber match and be replaced with Christian, is hyped up and excited about competing in this match. Huh, sudden change of heart here?
One other certain.
Damn, the ferocity of Triple H climbing the cage while yelling at the audience gives me chills. This is the guy who definitely has it all. Jesus, what an awesome wrestler. What are the odds that WWE introduced simple locks for the cage door because it was so frustrating for the referees to always unlock the chains or remove them from the door several times per match? I don't blame them.
5 men have been eliminated. I don't mean that literally.
No offense, JR, but that's a little overboard, thinking there will be literal eliminations or death in the Elimination Chamber match.
The last cage door open will be Batista's.
Damn, even in 2005, WWE was already revealing who's going to exit the chamber pods. I look back on events for the first time in over 15 years and I forget a lot of things, like how much this show sucks ass.
Look at the crossface.
Chris Benoit is clearly going for a sharpshooter, and somehow Jim Ross mistook that for a crossface. Chris has to be sitting on the canvas to do that, not standing over his opponent.
Get to the ropes. The rope, Rip, ropes.
Jerry Lawler somehow doesn't know that rope breaks are invalid in the Elimination Chamber, and if the argument is this being the third chamber match, anyone who's ever seen a cage-style match knows that rope breaks are invalid to all of them.
Benoit and Jericho are damaged.
Not gonna lie, I laughed when I heard the fans counting down in Spanish. That made this match even cooler. Go ahead, WWE, have Puerto Rico host the Royal Rumble one day so we can hear that.
Who is it? Who's the next victim?
Like I've said in previous Sins videos, since Dave is the last guy scheduled to exit the pod, why bother shining the spotlights on him? Damn, Hunter was gone from the pod before the spotlights could even select him. I bet Ric Flair snatched the key and unlocked the chain just to get him in early.
The cover, got the count and...
Alright, now I think I understood Jerry Lawler's confusion from earlier. Pinfalls and submissions can count anywhere, even on the cage floor, yet for some reason Shawn Michaels stops the count when Chris Benoit has his foot on the rope. That's like having rope breaks during a Falls Count Anywhere match.
All 3 of the elimination.
Chris Benoit barely hit the cage wall at all, yet it was somehow enough to cut his face open. Thus I call a sin for blading.
I've driven by car wrecks that look better than this.
Bullshit.
With a kick, there's a cover-up. Why is Jericho covering the game?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe because Hunter was the closest one to him when he went for pinfalls. Just a theory.
Yeah, no disqualifications here.
Commentator annoyingly reminds us about the rules of this match over and over cliche. Hasn't this pay-per-view pissed me off enough already with all the crap that happened? Let's see, Dave is the last guy scheduled to exit the pods, and there is only Randy Orton left. Yep, that totally means we should randomize the spotlights to see who it lands on. Oh my god, it's Randy Orton! What are the odds of that?
Why is Orton not going after Jericho?
Why aren't you calling the action the way you should be, and why won't you stop complaining about who goes after who in this match?
Triple H is taunting Randy Orton!
Hunter actually believes that Chris Benoit will temporarily side with him just to be at the expense of his former Evolution member. That's not how the rabid Wolverine works, Hunter.
Still in this thing.
The referee gets knocked down at the crucial point in the match cliche. Also, Shawn Michaels warned Edge earlier that he'd retaliate if anyone gets physical with him. But in this case, even Shawn knows what happened was an accident. So Edge was screwed tonight when Shawn superkicks him.
The game cannot last.
This was an awesome moment of the match, when Hunter was trapped in the crippler crossface and the walls of Jericho at the same time, all while the countdown begins to release Dave Batista into the match, further increasing the anxiety on the other wrestlers.
A double team. Batista.
Randy Orton successfully landed from the clothesline. Meanwhile, Chris Benoit did whatever the hell that was.
And now Jericho again.
Wrong Chris, you dumbass. My god, Jim Ross somehow confuses the two Chris's in this match when neither of them look alike.
Oh, Batista powerbomb.
Oh my god, that was a spine buster that Dave connected on Chris Jericho, not a power bomb. Might as well add 5 cents for the continuous botches.
Chest. And look out. Oh, 2 Batista bombs.
I blame you, JR. Now you got Jerry Lawler thinking Dave hit Batista bombs on both Chris Jericho and Chris Benoit.
He will leave a bitter taste in the...
Randy Orton is addicted to Dave's Batistas. Post-elimination assault from Dave and a hilarious beatdown from Shawn Michaels onto Ric Flair. But all of this made it obvious that Hunter was going to win the match in the end, so thanks for a shitty pay-per-view.